What is going on, YouTube? Reverse John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you a very special Viva La Vinyl classic album review. And guys, it does not get much more classic than this. The 1959 live album at Carnegie Hall by Harry Belafonte, who would be 76 years old today. Happy birthday in heaven to Harry. We tragically lost him in 2023. And man, what a national treasure this guy was. Not just a musician, but also an actor, a philanthropist. I mean, We Are the World would not have existed without him. All the things he did for the civil rights movement. I could go on and on about him, but I really want to talk about this record because for me personally, I came into this knowing a little bit about Harry Belafonte's music. Of course, I knew the Banana Boat song, Deo, Deo. Everybody knows that one. But this just, when I listened to it shortly after his death, I was just transported back in time. There's something magical about this album, I'm telling you. And the production value is so amazing. You feel like you're there in the room. And just an amazing performer, just brilliant storyteller. He's got the audience by the neck the whole time. The slow songs, the upbeat songs, the funny songs, all of them, you're in for the ride the whole hour and a half. And I think this is a very timely review, not just because it's his birthday, but I also wanted to mention, for those of you who know, we're in the midst of collecting lists for the top 50 albums of the 50s, and you have until March 14th to do that, so please, if you haven't submitted your list yet, do it either in the comments below or whatever means you can access it, whether email, Facebook, whatever, because Nathaniel and I will be starting that countdown later this month, and hopefully this will be on your list because, oh my God, I love this album so much. It's become one of my favorite live albums of all time. Like I said, I was completely transfixed just from the opening songs, Darlin', Cora, and Sylvie, which are just soft, tender ballads. And what artistic integrity from this guy to start out a concert like this with songs like that. You would think he'd do a more upbeat number to start it out, like the Banana Boat song. Which also, if you haven't heard the 1956 album Calypso, which that song is on, also songs like Jamaica Farewell and Come Back Liza, just beautiful songs. And he really introduced the world to Calypso music and Caribbean music, where his family was from. His heritage is from Jamaica and I believe Martinique, but he grew up in New York City and, started out as just singing in nightclubs, but what a voice this guy has. I mean, needless to say, one of the greatest vocalists of all time, but just someone that brought a whole different flavor of world music into the United States. And what I love about this performance too, it's not only do you feel like you've gone back in time and that you're there, you really feel like you're there in the audience, it's like a history lesson. The way that he just slowly tells these stories, like Cotton Fields, which is an old Lead Belly song that, just from the title, what that's about. And it's like American history being unfolded, the way he tells these stories. Just John Henry, masterful storytelling on that one. Take My Mother Home, another just incredible ballad that's based on Jesus and his mother seeing him on the cross, and he's saying, "Take my mother home." Oh my God, this hit me in a whole different way, especially re-listening to this album this morning because as we speak, my grandmother is in a hospice, and I'm kind of an emotional wreck right now. So forgive me if this goes off the rails, but it's just songs like this are incredible, and he runs the gamut between just these tear-jerking, just amazing ballads. And then he goes from that to something like the Joyful Deo, which, you know, everybody knows and loves. But then you've got these hilarious songs like Man Piaba, which... it tells the story of like him asking his father about the birds and the bees, and his father explaining the man piaba and the woman piaba, and it's so hilarious, man. Like this guy, and he knows exactly when to do like these dramatic pauses in the songs. There's another hilarious song on here called Man Smart, Woman Smarter, which is a great commentary on just, the relationship between a man and a woman. But he tells a story that's a little risque for the time, where he's saying, the boy was born with blue eyes, and then he does this pause and he goes, "It wasn't mine." And it's just like, oh man, and you could hear the just joyous laughter from the audience. And oh my God, another really funny song is Mama Look a Boo Boo, where it's, basically saying he calls himself ugly in the song, and she's like, "Shut your mouth." It's all these little phrases that are so cute and endearing and funny that come from just the Caribbean culture that he brings in. But then also, I mean, towards the end of this album, he's just showing off at this point. I mean, he does a Jewish song, Hava Nagila. He does a French song with perfect dialect, Merci Bon Dieu. He does Cuckoo Rucucu Paloma, which is a Mexican song, in perfect Spanish. Like, his accent is unparalleled, and it's just like, okay, Harry Belafonte, you're freaking incredible in every way. But yeah, it's just, I could go on and on about every single song on here, but also I got to give it up for his band and an orchestra. I mean, there's a moment going back to Take My Mother Home towards the end of that song where the orchestra comes in, because it's mostly just his vocal that's leading the song. But when that gives it that dramatic effect, it's like, oh my God. And then it sounds so pristine, like it was recorded in a studio, but this is all live, recorded in 2 nights at Carnegie Hall, and it's just amazing, man. And his band is just, oh God, the trumpet player, I wish I could remember his name, but on songs like Mama Look a Boo Boo, just top-notch playing, man. And the closing track, Matilda, which goes on for over 10 minutes, but you never get sick of it because it's just so catchy and fun. And of course, everybody's singing along with it. Matilda, she take the money and go to Venezuela. It's just, oh man, I love it so much. And that's based on an old song from Trinidad. So you get this Latin flavor, just so many different flavors of music. Of course, the calypso and the Jamaican music comes through in most of the performances. But I mean, he's running the gamut from folk to like I said, so many different countries of music that he's doing. He even does a version of The Saints Go Marching In, and he does it based on how the British people would do it. And I love his interactions with the audience, where he's, like I said, he's such a great storyteller, whether in song or in between tracks, or sometimes mid-track where he just like stops and talks to the audience again. It's, this is just one of those records, man. I don't know, I'd almost give it a perfect 10 out of 10 if I didn't feel like sometimes it does overstay its welcome in length a little bit. I feel like there was 1 or 2 songs maybe he could have cut it back a little, but I mean, like I said, even some of these slow ballads are just amazing. Like his version of Danny Boy, another traditional song from the early 1900s, just his voice, man, his tone, his resonance, his vibrato, it's unparalleled. And my God, man, if I had to give this a grade, I give it a very strong 9 out of 10. Absolutely love it. And for me, going back to what I was saying earlier about the top 50 of the 50s, this is the album that made me realize, okay, maybe we need to do a top 50 of the 50s, because there's several albums that I've known and loved, but not that many from that decade. But this made me realize, okay, we need to start searching for some more things out there, and it's been quite an adventure. Not just this, some other albums that I've come to know and love in that process. So I have to thank you, Harry Belafonte, for just setting me on that path. Thank you for this just amazing gift of an album. If I had to pick my favorite tracks, I'd have to go with Matilda for the sheer joy of that performance. And then on the opposite end, I'd have to go with Take My Mother Home, because it's just, oh my God, one of the most beautiful but heartbreakingly sad songs of all time. But yeah, even though he didn't write many of these songs, maybe he just rearranged some of these old traditional tracks. The way that he does them, and the strength of his performance, and the beauty of his delivery, and the master of a storyteller that he is. This is just one of the greatest ever. So guys, let me know in the comments below what you think. What do you think of Harry Belafonte? And guys, we got so much more coming on the channel. As you know, the top 50 of the 50s are coming. Album reviews, top fives every Friday, so much more. Thank you for watching, and as always, Viva La Vinyl. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and be sure to ring the bell for notifications so you can always see great quality content like you're seeing on the screen right now. Thank you so much for supporting Johnny Radio, and I'll see you soon.